Good evening. May I?
No.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Those Were the Days. Now, we're obviously going to be talking about Archie Bunker, and of course I like to call it Those Were the Days because that's what they sing in the intro. So, this episode is very interesting. I've seen it before, of course, I've gone through all of the episodes, but I do remember this one. It is pretty interesting. There is a FBI scare. Someone comes to the door, making Archie think that he's some kind of FBI spook, or a G-man back in the day they would call them. And it's pretty interesting because back then you pretty much got done with the witch hunt, which was about 20 years before, give or take.
Imagine that one day you're summoned before a government panel. Even though you haven't committed any crime or been formally charged with one, you are repeatedly questioned about your political views, accused of disloyalty, and asked to incriminate your friends and associates. If you don't cooperate, you risk jail or losing your job. This is exactly what happened in the United States in the 1950s.
Quote me on that, but it was a while ago. But there was some government stuff, and in a couple of years from this point, or even a couple of months at this point, I think they're in 1972 at the showing of this, you will have Watergate happen pretty soon, and that sparks up a bunch of stuff. But there's a lot of paranoia. So with that being said, this should be an interesting episode. Well, let's get at it. Here we go.
Those were the days.
Yo tengo un escritorio.
Yo tengo un escritorio. I have a desk.
He has a desk and he's learning Spanish.
Yo tengo un cuarto. I have a room.
You got a cuarto for which you don't pay no rent, though.
And Archie, all the Spanish he knows is to add an O to everything that he thinks is Spanish.
Oh, ain't English good enough for you?
Fine, Arch. When do you want to start learning that?
Dry up, huh?
I mean, technically that's right, because, he doesn't really speak good English-o.
Good evening. May I?
No.
Guy in a trench coat at the door, I would slam it too.
Listen, sonny boy, you're working yourself through school. Work the other side of the street, huh? Got no use for no magazines here.
Right.
I'm an investigator for the United States government.
Okay. What branch?
Name's Bradford. You Mr. Bunker?
At least it's better than Mr. Smith.
Good. Listen, I'm sorry for calling you sonny boy over there.
Right. I get that a lot. I believe you know a Mr. Larry Grundy.
Larry Grundy, wait a minute, why?
Larry Grundy.
Yeah, Larry Grundy from across the street. Yeah, well, we bunk into each other every now and then.
I mean, he does live across the street.
Sound like a stranger, and you've known him for at least 15 years.
Oh, wow, okay.
He's one of your best friends.
Well, used
Is
to.
he? One of your best friends.
Kinda.
Well, I got a lot of best friends, Mr. Bradford. I mean, some of them I don't hardly even know.
Right.
Is Larry Grundy in some kind of, trouble?
Not at all.
Not yet.
It's just a routine investigation.
Yeah, a routine investigation, wink, wink.
I mean, this guy just can't walk in here, flash a badge, and start prying into people's characters.
True.
Dumb me up, will you? This is the government. The government can do whatever it wants. Don't you know that?
There's laws, though.
Rights, it's against the Constitution.
Don't be bothering the U.S. government with the Constitution.
You have to.
Why, you afraid the government might read it?
Right.
They don't even know the war's unconstitutional.
I don't know, that's a little bit, gray line there.
Just go and finish what you was doing upstairs.
We weren't doing anything upstairs.
Right.
Well, then go on upstairs and start something, huh?
Hey, Mint, could you go upstairs and finish your studies?
Read it. This Mr. Bradford, an investigator for the federal government.
Don't say anything.
They have nothing to do with this, sir.
Don't say anything without a lawyer.
Plead the fifth.
And I got your Fruit of the Loom underwear for half price.
Back then, it probably didn't cost that much.
Inflation rate month to month was just an inch.
It's just that some of them have these little red hearts.
Oh, wow. That's kind of embarrassing.
She's a little bit on the dingbat side. Edith, Mr. Bradford don't want to investigate nobody's underwear.
Right. Well, nowadays you never know.
FBI agents reportedly searched through for First Lady Melania Trump's wardrobe during Monday's raid of Mar-a-Lago.
Oh, I knew this was gonna happen.
What?
He left his garbage cans out all week.
That's not a government violation.
Ever notice the sort of newspapers and books he reads?
Not really.
Careful, Arch. If he reads, it's probably a mark against him.
Did you notice what kind of books he's got on the shelves?
I don't remember no shelves.
Right. Why do you care what books he reads? I mean, sure, Marxist books and stuff, but I don't know what he's looking for.
Now, do you know Mr. Grundy belongs to any organizations?
Yeah, he's fishing for probably socialists, maybe?
American Legion, the Knights of Columbus, but don't hold that last one against him there. 'Cause, he's one of your good Catholics. He don't bother with it.
Oh.
It's Larry Grundy. He's in the kitchen.
Uh-oh.
A little emergency in the kitchen there, Mr. Bradford.
Right.
Yeah, a little bit.
Archie, you got a guy in there asking questions about me, a G-man.
Right.
Why is he investigating me?
Larry, don't you know why?
No!
You usually don't.
What did you say about me?
I just said that you was a member of, Larry.
Right.
Volunteering, the Legion, the Knights of Columbus, that's all.
No, there's nothing wrong with them.
Exactly.
You joined something I don't know nothing about.
No!
Right. The Communist Party, maybe?
Bad move, Larry, because I don't think that you and me should be seen together, you know? How much do you really know about your uncle?
Right.
He went to Europe one year.
Oh.
And thanks, Archie. Thanks.
Larry, you better get a lawyer.
Just in case.
As to his use of intoxicants, how would you describe Mr. Grundy's drinking habits?
He seldom buys.
I mean, that's not really a character flaw, though.
Level with me. Is Grundy in trouble?
Not at all.
Yeah, that smile's real comforting.
Grundy is in trouble. That man is from the FBI, ain't he?
No, he didn't actually say where he's from. I mean, he could be from the library and say he works for the government or the post office. Would be illegal, but still.
Hold it. Don't answer the phone. I'll get that.
The phone's bugged.
Hello?
Hello? Yeah, he called you from the car phone.
McNabb, what are you whispering about anyway, huh? You got an investigator over there?
Wow.
They're asking questions about me. What the hell for?
Well, I guess the whole neighborhood is on watch.
What do you mean? Maybe we ought to be seen together.
You just pulled that with the other guy.
That's crazy. First Mr. Grundy and now you?
Right.
He's up to his neck in something. They know I'm his best buddy. They think I'm in it with him.
Maybe they're just asking questions for a survey.
You should have heard McNabb on the phone there. Nervous. That dumb Mick, he's so scared he'll tell him anything.
Right. You should have asked, like, what organization, FBI, CIA, DMV?
How can your friends hurt you?
By spilling everything they know, Edith.
What do you know?
There ain't nothing to spill. You ain't done nothing.
It's
Right. That's my point.
my word against the FBI's.
So the FBI can't do nothing to you.
Right. They have to prove that you did something.
Innocent.
But of what, Edith? Of what?
Well, that's called paranoia. If you didn't do anything, then, well, there's really no issue.
Aren't you gonna eat your dinner?
I ain't got no appetite, Edith. Forget about dinner.
He's paranoid now.
Can I have your portion, Arch?
Can I have your portion? Meathead.
You know, I think you'd eat through a tidal wave. Lionel said he was coming over here.
Said he'd run over as soon as the investigator left his house.
Must still be over there, then.
That ain't mortifying. The government checking me out with the colors.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what you're so worried about, Arch. I mean, investigation has become the new American way of life. Everybody's doing it. The Army, the Navy, the Senate.
True.
Hire a hall, will you? This ain't no little credit bureau of investigation. This is the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
You don't know. They never told you.
Oh, I don't see nobody.
Of course you don't, Enid. Them FBI guys are experts at keeping themselves hid.
Probably not, but still.
When they ain't watching, you can see them. And when you can't see them, they're watching.
Wow. Logic.
Come on, Daddy, you don't really believe the FBI has you under constant surveillance, do you?
Sure he does, Gloria. Why else would he put the flag out front at 8 o'clock at night?
I mean, do what you want, but still, that's kind of a sign.
It's useful, too. That way you can spot the FBI guys when they come out of the bushes to salute.
They put guys into houses like that to watch 24 hours a day to them high-power spectaculars.
Kind of. Spectaculars.
You better be very careful what you say. They probably got the whole house bugged.
Right.
No, what are you talking about? You couldn't do that without nobody knowing. What do you say a stupid thing like that for anyhow?
To mess with you?
Bugs, there ain't no such thing around.
Did you lose something, Archie?
A bug. He lost a bug.
Bugs? There ain't no bugs in this house. I spread the roach paste around last.
Not that kind of bug.
Oh, Mom, I'm talking about microphones. See, the FBI can plant those things any place.
Kind of, yeah.
Let's not get nobody sore at us, huh?
I think Watergate just happened, at this time. Or will be coming up pretty soon.
And I've been a #1 loyal fan of J. Edgar Hoover. And remember where you all heard that? From Archie Bunker, 704 Hauser Street, veteran of the big war.
Right. The big one. The second big one.
Why was you talking into the camera?
You're very stout.
Why was you talking into the camera?
It's fun watching him go nuts.
They got microphones as small as an olive or a raisin. Hey, Arch, look at this.
Huh? Looks like a butt.
It is. I just tore it off my sleeve.
Oh.
Are you trying to make a monkey out of me?
You're doing a good job of that yourself.
Eat it. Oh, wait a minute. It might be another one of them G-men, see?
G-man. Government man.
Oh, it's Lionel. I think.
I think. Yeah. No. It's Mission Impossible. It's Tom Cruise dressed as Lionel. Who hasn't been born yet, but still he time traveled,
Came over to our house and he said he had to question all your close friends.
Close friends? Who'd he talk to over your house?
Oh.
The whole family. We's close friends, ain't we?
Right.
Well, he asked if you were a loyal American, if you took more than a social drink, do you read much? Did we ever hear you discuss politics?
Okay.
Now, Lionel, what did you say?
Oh, let me see. Yes, no, yes, maybe. Well, there was nothing to it, really. I mean, we know what you are, and we told him.
Oh, that might not help.
Well, we said you were 100% behind the Constitution.
Which I am.
Okay.
100% behind civil rights.
Which I hold.
Right. Maybe. Probably not.
It depends on what the man said when you told him that I said that. Well, what'd he say?
Oh, he said, right.
You mean the FBI thinks I'm for the coloreds?
Oh, well, it don't matter if you are or not. We said you was. And when we say something nowadays, they listen.
Right. Oh, you gotta love Lionel.
Wasn't that sweet of the Jeffersons giving you a nice recommendation?
Whew, everyone's jerking Archie around a lot today.
The FBI better think it's nice or I'll be wearing my Fruit of the Loom drawers in Leavenworth.
Wow, okay.
Anyone home besides family?
He's all dressed in the uniform.
What is this with the uniform?
Right?
I got bugle practice tonight over at the Legion Hall.
Right.
Since when do you have to wear a uniform to bugle practice?
Since you started flying your flag at night. I know there was a G-man over at McNabb's today investigating you.
Right.
Of course, I was best buddies with you.
Okay.
I mean, all this fear and suspicion's crazy.
Yep.
He's the one that's crazy. He's calling me un-American.
It ain't my fault if you're a subversive.
A two-time commander of American Legion, a subversive?
Okay.
Benedict Arnold was an admiral and he was as subversive as a termite.
I fought for my country, Purple Heart.
Wow.
Wounded in action, you was wounded trying to open up a beer can in a PX.
It was during the war, wasn't it?
Wow.
I got war decorations too, and real.
You want me to get your good conduct medal?
I don't have to dress up no uniform like a tin soldier to prove that I'm American.
Right.
I should have known there was something a little bit funny about you the night you come into Kelsey's bar with that weird old pal of yours.
Okay.
He was always covering up with talcum powder.
I'm talking about this subversive radical. You got him living with you, long-haired freak.
Hey!
Carrying those peace signs right out in the open.
Right.
Peace that. Down with war. All kinds of un-American slogans.
You know.
I didn't know that peace was on the subversive list.
Right.
Kid's stupid, but he ain't dangerous.
You got a pinko subversive living under your own roof, and you're as bad as he is.
Wow. Okay.
You step outside with me, you're gonna be the sorriest white man living.
Both acting like children and such good friends.
Don't?
Right.
Well, I take off that uniform. I ain't gonna fight against the American uniform.
Well, first I gotta go to bugle practice, don't I?
Right.
I ain't moving an inch until I get back my fishing rods, which I loaned you last summer.
Wow.
You want back the fishing rods you loaned to me last summer, huh?
Right. That's kind of petty.
And when you get them home, you know what you can do with them? Hooks and all.
Wow. Okay.
It's about the investigation.
Oh, here we go.
Mr. Hopper, your sharp steward.
Maybe we'll figure something out now.
But he's been calling up all the guys from down at work.
Okay.
He said it ain't the FBI doing it at all. It's the Air Force.
Huh. Okay.
It's some defense contract we had down at plant.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, them little gizmos we was making that looked like a bottle cap with a tail on it. That was for the Air Force.
Okay.
We finished off that contract 6 months ago.
Right. Club bureaucracy.
The union called up the Air Force and they dropped the whole thing like that.
Wow.
And all this snooping was for nothing.
Right.
You can be best buddies again.
Right.
Can't you?
Maybe. They were both being kind of butts, so. Go apologize.
All that best buddy stuff, it's all for kids anyhow.
Well, that sucks.
We've been doing some research on some of the people that have been investigated by the government in the last year.
Right, okay.
Congressmen, senators, Supreme Court judges.
Wow.
Dr. Spock, you and Newton,
Wow, okay. And that is it. Let's talk about it. Alright, guys, so that was All in the Family. Archie meets the FBI, I believe is what it was called. Something to do with FBI, I believe. So, very interesting episode. Archie gets a random knock on the door. It's some guy. He thinks he's selling, stuff or wants a donation. Pretty funny. It turns out this guy works for...
Yes, the Air Force.
So, it's pretty interesting, the dynamic of this episode. Everyone's freaking out. All of the neighbors get this guy... or some form of this guy to come to his house and his neighbor's house, and they're all talking about, oh, this neighbor, and what about this neighbor, and it's kind of funny because instead of asking about an entire group of neighborhood people, he asks about, one person in particular, and then they go to another house and they ask about one particular person that's not the same person, and it's kind of weird because you would think that if they were doing what they were doing, which was just investigating a contract that they had with Archie's company that he works for, they would just kind of have, oh, do you know this person? What are they like? Do you know this person? What are they like? Do you know this person? What are they like? You work with this person? Yes. You work with this person? Yes. You work with it, and you know what I mean. So... it's just kind of funny because instead of going through your laundry list asking, do you know this person? Okay, are they blah, 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 blah. They only mention one person to each one of them. It's kind of a weird way to find out if someone's a spy. So, yeah, it made everyone paranoid, and Archie lost a friend because, everyone started pointing the finger because that's typically what you do when you're afraid. All in all, funny episode. All in all, a good episode. It's just kind of sad that they let their paranoia and fear get in the way of their friendship, and it was all over nothing. It's also pretty funny because you have Meathead saying, hey, that's not constitutional. You can't just come in here, start asking questions about people that aren't here. If you're from the government, that's not really a right that you have to, you can, but it's not professional to do that. There are some legal stuff that he brought up, so it was pretty interesting to see that side of things as well, your civil rights, and if it was anything really serious, I'm sure that they would have had them come downtown to their office and talk to them in the room. So it's kind of funny because you don't know what's going on until you find out what's actually going on. Of course, our friend Lionel is in this episode. Very funny guy. And I'm not sure... We still have a while before they move on up. So that's going to be sad when he leaves. But he has his own show. You know, he's a part of his own show. So that's good that, you know, they eventually do that. But him messing with Archie is always funny. You guys know that I love Lionel and his antics with Archie because it's just underlying sneaky, sarcastic jokes the entire time, which are very fun when you catch on to them. And, you know, it's just so interesting, that dynamic that the two have. Because he usually plays pretty straight with Meathead and Gloria. He doesn't even really mess with Edith. He basically just messes with Archie, which is even more funny. So, all in all, a great episode. It's one of those like really non-sequential episodes. It has really nothing to do with the overarching story, but it does tell us a little bit more about Archie himself, his fears, his paranoia. So yes, all in all, a great episode. And we're getting close to the end of season 2. We will be doing season 3 here in a little bit. I'm just trying to, we still have a few more episodes left in this one. One of them is very interesting. It's called Sammy, which is going to be a fun episode. I remember that one. It's not the next one, but it's coming. So, yeah, we're almost done with Season 2. We will be jumping into Season 3. So with that being said, I hope you guys liked this review. If you do, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. If you don't, go ahead and give it a thumbs down. I'm the only one who sees it. So with that being said, I do want to thank all of my subscribers. I want to thank you specifically for getting this far in the video. Don't forget to hit that little subscribe button down there.
Just tap it in. Just tap it in. Give it a little tappy. Tap, tap, tap-a-roo.
And we will see you next time. Peace.